In the 90s, Playmates Toys made the deepest line of Star Trek action figures in history. My name's Keith, and I'm a collector working towards owning all 284. I've been a Trek fan for almost 35 years, and most people are sick of me talking about it. But somehow I've convinced my old friend Mike to review them with me on Look at My Star Trek Toys! What's whoosh up, everybody? Welcome back to Look at My Star Trek Toys. Today we have a really fun episode of custom figures and play sets today.
Okay.
And we're gonna finish with a little surprise for Mike. It's gonna be fun. Mike, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, Keith. I'm a little sad because apparently I'm off the channel. I'm loosed.
You got loosed off the channel. It's such a bummer.
We got folks who watch toys. You know, our Enterprise D episode, it blew up. A lot of people watched it. Majority of which awesome people, cool insight, just talking about toys. Reminder of the channel. We're talking about toys. Grown-up people talking about toys. This is not an in-depth intellectual study of the Star Trek specific schematics and lore, but apparently there was a 3% of people who thought that's what this channel was, and boy, they were big mad, Keith. Thanks everybody who's checking out the channel. We do appreciate you for sure.
No, absolutely. It's awesome. It's really exciting. We love as many views and engagements as we can get, and it's a delight to add new friends to the channel.
How dare you call yourself a Trekkie, Keith? How dare you in that open call yourself a fan? Is it Windows?
Yes. I mean, if we wanted phaser, what is it? Phaser compare our Trek credentials. Bring it.
Wow.
All right.
Okay.
Whose phaser's bigger? All right. Let's talk about some custom figures and some custom play sets. Starting off with, we did a Romulan episode a while back. And about 10 seconds after I prepped it, we got some amazing Romulan figures and whole setup and photography from our good friend JD at JD Makes, who not only did a bunch of custom Romulan figures, but built out this whole playset and lit it and shot it in these fantastic scenes here. We're going to talk sort of about the scenes that he's created and a couple of the figures and how he did it. But we're not getting too far into it because I can't talk about all of them. Spoilers for Deep Space Nine spoilers for Mike. So for those of you, actually, I had some questions about this. People who have sent in some phenomenal Deep Space Nine figures to look at my Star Trek toys at gmail.com. And we're like, hey, why haven't you shown them on the channel yet? There is a reason. It is not because I don't like the figures. I love the figures. I can't wait to put them on the air. But we can't do spoilers for Mike until we get there. So we're in season 4. So as we move forward, we're gonna be well. I'm looking out for myself. You don't give a crap, but I care a great deal about watching your fresh face experience these things for the first time on our other show. Keith and Mike watch Deep Space Nine, so check it out.
You'd think some of those views from would have bled over, Keith. No,
that's not how this works. It's not how the YouTube algorithm works.
Hundreds of hours of my life watching Deep Space Nine by myself.
Mike, why are you so mad? I'm not mad.
Because faux outrage is kind of fun. I have to admit. You know what? I apologize for being mad at you. It is kind of fun.
Dude, you're going to get loosed from the show. If you didn't read it, we got a comment like, you need to loose that guy, Mike.
The guy in the hat.
The guy in the hat. I forget what they didn't like about you, but we need to loose. We need to loose Mike.
LOOSE.
We should never set Mike loose. It's terrible.
It's the worst idea.
It's like Jurassic Park. You can't let the velociraptors
Clever
loose.
Girl.
All right. So let's take a look at our next one. And this is Ambassador Nanklis from Star Trek 6. Really, really great figure. Also, phenomenal photography. The shallow depth.
I was just about to say that. JD's really bringing the sort of cinematic flair to his photography.
I mean, that's the thing. It's been fun to do this show for a while now and watch all of the amazing artists and creators who were amazing day one, but are continually upping their game and doing better and cooler stuff. So really, really cool. I can't tell you much about the ambassador from Star Trek 6 without giving away pieces of Star Trek 6. And Star Trek 6 is one of the shows or movies that I want to watch with you, the patrons, on patreon.com/KNM to do a live watch with Mike and everybody, because that's such a good movie and would be really fun.
While we're complimenting, the photography, great. Custom making, great. But let's not undersell JD's storytelling here. Obviously, though I am not privy to the specifics of the story being told, there's also a visual story being told here where we've got the hero in hard quotes, of this character in the front, and in the back we have some conversation taking place, Keith.
Yeah, we sure do. Well, those Romulans, they're always up to something, right? They're always they're scheming and talking and causing trouble. So gonna be fun. So I believe next we're gonna take a look about how he created Ambassador Nanclus, which he took the Series 1 Romulan head on top of the Spock body, and then clearly did an extensive repaint and rebuilt the boots as well. So no shivs on the boots, which I feel like if you're gonna make boots and you don't put shivs on them, I don't understand what the point is. I mean, it's screen accurate and all, but like, show me them shivs. Anyway, looks great. As always, fits perfectly in with the line. Really, really fun. Let's look at some more Romulans. Coming up next here, we have now the 3 Romulans we have here. We have Spock dressed up in Romulan military garb. And do you recognize who those other 2 people are, Mike?
No.
Perhaps they are next-gen heroes dressed up as Romulans?
Oh, we got a Picard?
We have a Picard. And who's the other one?
It's hard to say.
All right, it's Data.
Yeah.
Data. And Playmates made figures of Picard as a Romulan and Data as a Romulan, but not in the military regular uniform, because they were going in as civilians. This, I think, is cooler looking anyway. It's a bummer. Now, of course, people feel what they feel about the Romulan couch cushion outfits. I would have liked to have seen Data and Picard in dressing up as the military folk. Mm-hmm. But anyway, these figures just manifested and made it happen. And there is Senator Pretek, I believe, if it's Partek, don't come for me. I know they're windows, okay? They're not escape hatches, they're windows.
Keith, to be honest, what is a window but an escape hatch, right? What does one do through a window in a case of emergency but escape?
And, well, after the escape pods have been released, it is by definition a window.
Yeah, so you know what? I retract my apology.
It's a window, damn it. It's a pre-window.
Pre-window, post-pod.
Post-pod. There it is. All right. And these are the 2 figures I just talked about. Mm-hmm. Of Picard and Data in there. And then we can't have Romulans kicking around without our next one. Commander Sila's going to be here.
Yeah. The lighting is so good here, too.
And it really just lights off of the sort of the metallic-y shine of the Romulan uniforms. Mm-hmm. That is great.
We got to get JD like a Vicks Vapor Rub facial steamer to just pop behind it to just get a little bit of steam coming up now.
Well, that's true. Well, we'll get a fog machine, get some dry ice.
Yeah, well, that's a little more expensive than just get like a boiling pot. Although that might be unsafe.
Either one is probably a little unsafe, but
fair. I mean, I feel like a full fog machine might overdo it, but
dude, folks on YouTube, I think it's still up there somewhere. If you want to see me go too far with the fog machine, search Mike Calls In Sick, which is a song from I Got Fired that I did a music video of in my apartment in Queens, over using the fog machine to a ridiculous extent. Really silly.
If it's worth doing.
if it's worth doing, there's no point in overdoing it. And here, could we have more Romulan shenanigans? It's also really cool. I'm assuming he did this with colored LED lights, which we use all the time here. Being able to have the Romulan green lighting.
That's what about one of the things, like the grating and the wall there? Like, what is giving that texture? Is that a place? Is that a?
It's pieces of place that he did say somewhere. I'll never find it live on the air, so I'm not even going to try. But he did. It is like pieces from another toy set. I don't think it's not a Trek line, but it integrates perfectly with that, which is really cool. I was going to say, Star Trek is really great about identifying different of their hero species by color. And so, the Romulan green, the Klingon red, the Borg kind of also uses green and black. But I think it really just is so iconic. I think it would be annoying to like walk around a ship and everything's red, but we don't know how their eyeballs work.
That's true.
It might be fine either way. So, all right. So coming up next is something really cool too. And this is a model of the Defiant Engineering. And now Mike knows the Defiant Engineering, and so he can speak to it. Let's take a look here from, of course, Joshua Cronan, the person on the planet with the largest and most extensive Deep Space Nine playset and custom line of anyone I have ever encountered in this little world that we're in. It's phenomenal. Mike, you take it away. You know this.
Well, we have Chief O'Brien in there, who's doing his engineering. We've got the Defiant room. We got both levels. We've got the really cool warp core there, which is, oh man, do we get a pic of it lit up? I hope.
Yeah, we might.
It's rad in there. Great color scheme, great scale. I mean, Joshua nails it. He always does. Josh, I would like to see a zoomed out view of the whole room of all the dioramas living together in harmony. If you care to share your house.
Well, we did a portion of that now because we did this before you knew Deep Space Nine, but we have an entire episode on a good portion of the rest of Josh's Deep Space Nine set.
I remember seeing the promenade.
It's really fantastic. So this is all hand built.
It's crazy.
Right, so all of these layers, when using, I'm assuming, sort of foam board there, every piece of this is built by hand. It is extraordinary, and there you can see the warp drive lit up, the ladders, the multiple layers. It looks screen accurate. It's really, really cool.
I love in the foreground here on the left. You can see you got some just like data pads. You got some, I guess they're printed and then X-Acto cut. Put on there.
I would assume, something like that. It's really, really cool. I mean, God, I think like the railings look phenomenal, and it adds like this 3D depth to it. And the center console there, is that a 3D print? Oh, that's so cool. And you think about like the iconic scenes
that looks like
that have happened right here at that moment. No changeling has ever harmed another. Happened right friggin' there. So cool. Dueling Odos. In the episode we just reviewed, Starship Down, we blew up most of this. Really, really cool. There's another angle.
Oh, okay, so great.
There you can see the power into the warp drive there.
Yeah, and look behind it on the back. You see like there's some like a scan happening of like some sort of human scan there on the back. It's really detailed, that print there. Yeah,
you got all the LCARs printed out there, and is the console there looks like a 3D print. Wonder if we got that from another customizer, but whatever. I mean, I think what Josh is able to do with the foam board and just building out these sets, these models is just extraordinary.
Yeah,
really cool.
You end up taking in the sort of the whole picture, and it ignites the creativity in your mind to fill in any blanks. But then, if you force yourself to micro in and look at the individual little pieces, so much detail and work goes into each individual little thing that it's really commendable.
Yeah, it's really, really,
so
really
awesome.
Cool. All right, so lastly, on the Defiant, we are going to check in on some reference photos you can see here behind Mike and I, and you can see just how well Josh was able to pull this all together. And that, of course, is the iconic episode, The Adversary, where we get dueling Odos. That's fun. Mike, don't look too hard at the photo directly above you because there's a uniform change, but you already know that. So it's not too much of a spoiler to say that we are going to swap uniforms coming up. So as always, phenomenal work from Joshua Cronan. We are very grateful. You keep sending me stuff. We have more coming down the pipeline. But next up, we're going to look at something also from Deep Space Nine from our good friend Chris Mitchell at CRM Customs.
Oh my goodness!
Because
is it time?
Go ahead.
Okay. Oh,
we are going to look at Kai Opaka, who we have seen in the first season of Deep Space Nine before things might happen to her. Spoiler alert. But look at this phenomenal 3D printed, sculpted, hand-painted Kai Opaka here from Chris Mitchell at CRM Customs. Definitely go check out his Instagram feed for an incredible line of these custom figures. Mike, what do you think?
Listen, you'd think that at some point you'd become just so used to Chris's work that it wouldn't be shocking, but I gotta tell you, it takes my breath away literally every time. Just the detail, the movement within because he's not just pulling these off a website. He's designing these 3D prints himself. And then the paint jobs are always flawless. You can see the movement and texture in the fabric. You can see the gravity on the fabric. You can see the detailing. The paint job is immaculate. I don't know what else to say, Keith.
I was about to mention gravity in that when you have loose fabric on the arms, you have to make gravity choices. And God, that is a type of skill I can't even imagine having. But really, really, really cool. We have if you go forward one, we can see Kai Opaka hanging out in context with Sisko and Kira from the actual line. But it looks utterly flawless. It fits in perfectly with the original line, which
I would probably swap in Chris's Kira because I don't love the Kira facial mold on the original series. So give me, I'd take Chris's.
Yeah, well, I agree. Well, all right. So we have met Kai Opaka. Mike, tell us quickly who Kai Opaka is.
I mean, she was the Bajoran spiritual leader, and unfortunately, she met her demise. And Kira cried all over her, but she saw the goodness coming after the proper emissary was selected in Benjamin Sisko.
Yeah, she sure did. Now, let's say you had your Bajoran Pope, and Kai Opaka didn't survive.
No,
right? Bad things happened to Kai Opaka, so you need maybe a new Kai who's a little tougher,
a little
harder.
Yeah.
No, good that, but not evil, right? Maybe somebody who could choke out a fellow, or shoot him dead, or destroy a city.
Well, Keith, there's only one thing you'd have to do a crossover. I believe that I sent into the universe, or mistakenly just said Kai Chewbacca.
You sure did. Yeah. You sure did. And
who did it?
Mike says things stupid things get created. Let's take a look. It's Kai Chewbacca.
Yeah, it's JD. So good. Oh, it's everything I wanted.
Look at Kai Chewbacca.
So good.
Look.
Yes.
He built Kai Chewbacca destroying a city.
Oh, absolutely.
Like Godzilla.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you should do. Oh, that's good.
All right, it's now canon that Kai Chewbacca is Godzilla-sized.
A human person spent time, from my blathering, to somehow fashion that Kai hat and get it big enough to stick on Chewie's head.
Well, and build
the whole
robes and paint it. And do all that detail work.
Just blasting Kai Wynn away.
which is another phenomenal custom figure, by the way, BTW. But look, Kai Chewbacca.
Does it? Oh man,
200 feet tall. 200 feet tall. Kai Chewbacca could have taken care of the Dominion War all by themselves.
Keith, at the end of our run, whenever that may be, however old and gray we are, I want to get all of the manifestations of my stupidness.
The stupid nonsense that comes out of your mouth.
Boot shivs with Kai Chewbacca we got to get the whole collection. That's a whole thing in its own.
Mike's like a Mike's malpropisms line. I love it.
Now JD, this is the problem with setting precedent. Kai Chewbacca here is one of my favorite things ever created by mankind. But now I got to see the box.
Kai Chewbacca?
Yeah, I got to see the Kai Chewbacca.
JD, that is phenomenal.
Awesome.
You sent this to me like a month ago, and I have been dying to show this to Mike.
He's very good at keeping secrets, I have to tell you.
I'm a secret keeper. And because you want to know what you do with secrets? You don't lose them. You definitely don't want to lose your secrets.
Nailed it. All right.
Mike, tell us who we shouldn't lose.
We should not lose our patrons. They're the people who help us support the channel and keep it going. Because let me tell you, even with those sweet views coming in from you don't make any money on YouTube. It's not a thing. And not that this is a money-making venture, but we are trying to value our time and keep getting content to you on a regular schedule. And those people helping you do that: Brian Kimball, Beersock, Casey Clark, Jason Moe, Joshua Cronan, Andrew Hayes, Jorge Naveau, and the Mysterious Wharf's Big Ol' Boot Shivs, Charles Babbage, Richard Coleman, Harry Pothead, Peter Bank, CRM Productions, Nikolai Ivanovich Lobachevsky, Delusions at Noon, Delusions at Noon, Steve Brown, YouTube viewer, James Hubbard, Lisa Kislova, JD Makes, of course, Colin Dagan, Chris Mitchell, CRM, always sending great stuff, Pat and Joshua Cronan. And wanted to let you all know, somebody recently wrote us a message saying, hey, I hope to be a patron one day. Wanted to remind everybody, you can get all the content unlocked at the $1 support level on Patreon. So you don't have to save up your pennies. Obviously, we don't want anyone to...
100 of them.
We don't want anyone to ever contribute if they are unable or puts you in any sort of hardship. Not what we're looking to do.
100%.
So thank you to those who do and can support. If you can't, like and subscribe. Let a friend know. We're just trying to have fun, guys, really. We're just playing around.
Yeah, they're Windows.
Yeah.
They're Windows. They're pre-Windows.
Keep digging, baby.
All right. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you back here next week with another episode of... Look at my Star Trek toys!